Welcome to another episode of Ask Erin Pavlina. Today's question comes from Jason. He writes, how best do spirit guides hear us? Do they hear our questions, instructions more easily if we speak them out loud, or is it okay to just think our words while mentally directing them to our guides? Do we have to be in a meditative state for them to hear us best? That's a great question. Your spirit guides can hear you even if you're speaking to them mentally. I know this for sure because when I do my intuitive readings, that's how I'm speaking to them and I get very clear answers. So obviously a spirit guide or your collection of spirit guides can hear you very easily if you are speaking to them just in your mind. They can also hear you if you're speaking out loud. It really doesn't matter. What does matter is how close you are to their frequency. I guess the way I would describe it is, they're tuning into us and we're tuning into them. And the closer you can get to that same frequency, the more easily communication is going to happen. So the more easily they'll hear you, and the more easily you will hear them. So I would recommend definitely get in some kind of meditative situation before you engage in a very deep discussion with your guides, because it's going to allow you to hear them more clearly. So I would say also that if you're going to take the time to express something to your guides, wouldn't it be nice if you could hear or sense or see their response? So I would recommend getting into doing a meditation 5-10 minutes a day where you tune into your spirit guides and have a conversation with them. Now, at first, it's going to sound in your mind like you're having a conversation with yourself. The only way you're going to know if it's really them is over time you will learn to distinguish their voice next to yours. Their voice and their thoughts and what they tell you are going to be very different than what you would necessarily tell yourself. And it does take time, and it does take practice, and it does take attention. You do have to work at it a little bit in order to develop a clear connection with your guides. But if you're just tooling along during the day and you're driving and there's something that you want to say to your guides, just say it. They'll get it. Bear in mind, spirit guides are not speaking English or French or Spanish or any language that we have here that is man-made and uses our vocal cords to create the sounds. Spirit guides receive and communicate energetically. And when you speak to them, you are creating an energetic thought that they are receiving. So really, you don't even have to use words to speak to them. You just have to send energy, thought energy. So you could send them an image. For example, what if you sent them an image of you writing a book and you're telling them, I would like to write a book. This is what I want to be doing. Daydream, imagine. Send that energy. You could also do it auditorily by speaking to them, by saying, I want to write a book. Help me write a book. You can also get it from a sense. That would be clairsentience. You can send a feeling to your guides to let them know, to communicate something that you want to communicate to them. So they can receive visually, auditorily, and with feeling, with sensation. So it's okay to communicate to your guides anything that you're feeling, seeing, or thinking. They will receive it. So, good question. Try to get into a meditative state as much as you can. Otherwise, it doesn't matter if you're speaking to them out loud or just in your mind. They will get the message.